Don Carpenter on News Talk 1270 KIML.
News Talk 1270 KIML. Don Carpenter Show. And welcome back to the program. It's 6:34. And Chris Brendel is joining us. Good morning.
Good morning.
So this is something we've talked about within the past couple weeks. The FCC made a decision yesterday to review, and this isn't a final decision or anything. They haven't made a decision on this yet, but they decided that they would review a petition from a George Washington University law professor, a guy named John Banzoff, to revoke the license of Washington, D.C. area radio station WWXX-AM, sports station owned by Washington Redskins owner Daniel Snyder. The claim in the petition is that the team amounts to an obscenity, or the team name amounts to an obscenity. Now, well, I mean, this is your first radio job, so you really haven't ever had to deal with the crazy people that try to get a station's license revoked, have you?
No.
Okay.
I've heard about it.
Well, and this is the way this works. Anytime, and anybody can do this with any station. I mean, if you don't like what the station is doing, and any station that runs Rush, the Rush stations get these all the time. I don't know if we've ever gotten them here. We don't really. I don't think we have a whole lot of crazy people around here that do this kind of stuff. But my old station, we would get crazy people coming in to see the public file, for example. Which, well, the public file, for those that don't know, is it has your equal opportunity employment file in there, where you have to keep track of every person you ever interview and every ad you put for open positions. It has your news your news reports. Now, I don't know how we do it here. I think we have like an automated system that takes care of it here. But my old station, the news director would have to make a little summary of every single news story that they did, and would do a little summary of it, and would print out all of the summaries and put them in the public file. And I think we do something a little bit differently here, but we would get crazy people coming in once in a while because we ran Rush and because we ran other programs like that. They disagreed politically, so they would try to do anything to get the station thrown off the air. Well, that's what this law professor is doing here. He doesn't like the word Redskins, so he's trying to use the FCC to force Dan Snyder to change the name.
Funny how it's a law professor, where you're supposed to learn about, first off, you learn about your rights as an individual. But how about the media? The media has so many rights, so they can be watchdogs against the government or against private businesses, anything really.
Right.
And this guy's wanting to say that, obscenity means saying the Redskins. Well, I don't hear him talking about the Fighting Irish, which could also be considered offensive. Nobody cares about that. I mean, an Irish guy, a drunk Irish guy is a mascot with his fists, with his dukes up, ready to fight. Also, I mean, how fitting that it's professor. I mean, this guy, these professors, they're in their own little world. That's the problem. They're in their own little world. They don't understand what's going on. And honestly, aside from my professors, of course, at Oklahoma State, who are all great professors, by the way, if you're listening. I didn't like sitting in class because I felt like I could do their job. I mean, let me make a PowerPoint presentation. Let's do a PowerPoint every day and talk drivel for 50 minutes about how, it's war's bad and how we should change the Redskins' name and this country's a violent nation because of football. That's your job as a professor. I think I can do that job. I could do it as a student.
Well, now, and the deal with this guy is apparently he's done this before. He's gone after stations that he disagreed with before. I guess he's a communications or something like that. He's some kind of professor, media law or something like that. But he's gone after stations that he disagrees with politically before. But for those that aren't really up on media law, which I wouldn't expect most people to be, obscene, and he claims that the word Redskins is an obscenity. Obscene is a very specific legal definition when it comes to media law. There's a difference between indecent and obscene. Indecent is enough to maybe get you a fine. Obscene, of course, is enough to get you kicked off the air if it's really bad. Obscenity generally is considered the 7 dirty words, and that there's the Pacifica decision. Anybody that's ever studied media law knows what I'm talking about. The Pacifica decision was literally the 7 dirty words. I mean, the old George Carlin bit. They played in the middle of the day the George Carlin record with the 7 dirty words bit, and this was a public station in New York City, and they went to the Supreme Court. The Supreme Court said yes, the FCC has the authority to regulate that sort of thing, but it's generally been only those 7 dirty words, and even one of them can be used in a different context. I mean, I'm not gonna. We'll
say it.
Well, you can say pissed off on the radio.
Oh yeah.
But you can't use that word in the bodily function manner. That would be considered one of the 7 dirty words, which would be an obscenity. So, but pretty much anything else isn't a violation that would lose your license. I mean, unless you say the F word, and you'd have to do it multiple times, which obviously, a Redskins broadcast station that uses that term all the time. If it really were an obscenity, it would definitely be an offense that would be able to shut the station down and lose the license. But this all goes by community standards. It's all, if the community considers it obscenity, it's obscenity. The only problem is almost 80% of the American public doesn't consider Redskins an obscenity. So there is absolutely no case here. Now, the FCC can pretty much do what they want. That's the problem. It's going to be 5 people that make this decision. There are 3 Democrats, 2 Republicans. The Republicans were appointed by Bush. The 3 Democrats were appointed by Obama, and they're pretty much all radio or cable TV lobbyists. So I'm sure they understand the consequences of this. I don't see this winning. I don't see this case winning, but the fact that they're even looking at it it's a dangerous precedent, because now what's going to happen is they're going to get a flood of petitions for every Redskins station, and they're going to have to look at all of them if they look at one.
Exactly, and I think I have like 1 or 2 minutes here. I'm just going to bash professors. No, this guy, he's supposed to know the difference. That's what's really sad about this. He's supposed to know what obscenity means.
Yeah,
and what's considered obscene. And he does know that, probably. He just doesn't care. He wants to be an activist more than he does a professor. Teach the students what they're supposed to learn. Quit teaching students how to think and how to feel.
Right.
And quit trying to use your job to be an activist for something that in the scheme of things doesn't really matter.
Yeah. Well, and that's the thing, and we'll wrap it up with this. He knows the difference. He just doesn't care.
He doesn't care.
Yeah. And what do we have going on in sports for this hour?
We have a volleyball report for the Wyoming Cowgirls.
Okay, sounds good. We'll see you in an hour. News Talk 1270 KIML.
Who needs a no-spin zone when you have a no-apology zone? Don Carpenter on News Talk 1270 KIML.